Hi, I wanted to do a video to go through what an emotion thermometer is and how you would use it with a child that might struggle. So you'll see here that it is a sort of ranked system, and you would go through it with the kind of viewpoint of knowing how you're feeling now and looking at what your triggers might be and how you can overcome them. You would initially go through naming your emotions. So, it's really important that the child understands what is calm, what is wobbly, what is scared, and then being able to rank them from 1 through to 5. So I've created ones with images, as you can see here, and also you can have ones where you just put the words on. I've changed it so that it can be different colours, different numbers. You could, you don't have to start with a 0, for example. I've created word banks because it's important that children have a wide vocabulary when it comes to emotions. It's not always happy, excited, pleased, keen, all of these words are valid. I've also incorporated other words for scared, angry, sad, and helpless. I've also put on some images, and this is just to guide you really into how you can use photographs of the child doing different poses. So obviously you would do this as an activity, and then use those images to then scale them and to put them on your own emotion thermometer. What does content look like for that child? What does furious look like for that child? I've put on some different examples. This is just for fun, really. I've also created a 0 through to 3 because you do have younger children that will struggle with the scale of 1 to 5. That they can go quite quickly from 1 to 5 in their emotions, so it's absolutely pointless to have a thermometer that goes with that bigger range. You have to sort of break up into smaller chunks. So this is where the 1 to 3 comes in. Again, I've done different examples, different colours, because this is more for the child to take control and ownership of it. I've also done one that goes from left to right. Again, this is one with images, but you can use your own. You can use your own words in it. And you've got ones with your own colour schemes. So the next step, once you've worked with the child to go from 1 to 5 or 1 to 3, being able to rank these emotions, the next step is being able to talk through what triggered you. So as a child, what would trigger you to be feeling explosive? What would trigger you into that angry rage? And I've left some boxes here. You can put words in there, you can put pictures in there, you could do a storyboard. It's about what is it that makes that child feel so unsafe? What is it that makes them go into a 4, a 3, a 2? Obviously, I didn't put a 1 because it's not about being triggered, but you could create sort of one example of when you are calm. This is another example of how you can have one that's already got the words in it, and then you can put words on the right hand side of your trigger points. Again, different ones. I have got images. These are sort of talking points. These are sensory triggers, and I've also written some other ideas of what a trigger might be. Then it's looking at what does an emotion look like. So this is for the child to be able to voice what an emotion looks like from the outside. You'd be quite surprised when you work with a child that struggles with their emotional regulation. It's easy to see a raging child, but you might have a child who's very quiet and placid, but inside they are raging. Inside they feel unsafe, and it will just need one tiny thing to flip them. So this is really giving them a voice to say, yes, I might look calm on the outside, but actually I'm really scared on the inside. Lots of different options there for colours, and going from 1 to 3 rather than 1 to 5. And again, I've got it from left to right, numbers as well as words, and pictures as well as making your own. So what does a 5 look like? What is it if you were to look at the child? What is that story? What is the visual story for them? What does 3 look like? 2 look like? What does calm look like for that child? Here there's pictures. Again, you can create your own, or you can use this as a starting point. The final step is, what can you as an adult do to help the child? So you've been able to rank it, you've been able to rank emotions, you've been able to say what the triggers are. Now it's, what can I do to help you? So what would help you go from an aggression through to a more calming state? What would help you go from a 4 to a 3, and then a 3 to a 2, and then a 2 to a 1? And I've created lots of different ways of communicating this, lots of different styles. Again, you can see how you're feeling, what your triggers might be, what does it look like. But again, what's important is, what can I do to help you? I've got blank ones here, and these are the ones that would be ranked from 1 to 3. And then I've got a blank one there. So there are lots of different opportunities with these mats to talk about how you're feeling, talk about what that looks like from the outside, and what as an adult you can do to help. I've also put in some images of things that you can do to encourage the child to regulate their nervous system, sort of regulate their emotions through doing breathing. It might be yoga, it might be heavy blankets, it might be hugs, but there's lots of different examples through here. At the end, I've got arrows, because ideally you would have these printed and laminated, and then you would use the arrows throughout the day to sort of picture, if we go back up, where am I now? And you'd put an arrow to where you are now. And through the day you could move that. So it's really giving a check-in sort of for that child. How are you feeling right now? Actually, I'm a 5. Wow, okay. So it's like, right, well, I need to help this child now. Okay, I hope that explains it a little bit further. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.